Mourinho and Benfica under fire after Real Madrid's Vinicius alleges racism. Former Real boss Jose Mourinho criticized for his response to alleged racism by his Benfica player towards Vinicius. Real Madrid's 10 win at Benfica in the UEFA Champions League was marred by further allegations of abuse aimed at the Spanish club's Brazilian international Vinicius Junior. The 25-year-old forward, who has 45 caps to his name and will lead Brazil's attack at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, has been the victim of a series of instances of racist abuse, with 18 legal complaints filed against racist behavior targeting him since 2022. The latest alleged incident, following an exchange with Benficas Argentinian winger Gianluca Prestianni and a subsequent row with the home side's manager Jose Mourinho, saw Real leave the field of play at the Portuguese club's Estadio da Luz, or the Stadium of Light, for 10 minutes on Tuesday. The match, which was the first leg of the playoff tie between the clubs for a place in the last 16 of the Champions League, had reached the 55th minute when Vinicius and his teammates retreated to their dressing room. Vinicius had just given Real the lead with a stunning, curled effort, but was then booked for an excessive celebration, which Vinicius disputes. The Brazilian was clearly confronted by Prestianni at this point, and this is where the controversy began. The Argentinian lifted his shirt over his mouth to say something to Vinicius, who, along with nearby teammates, allege was a racial slur. Referee Francois Letexier halted the match for 11 minutes after activating FIFA's antiracism protocols. As Real left the field, Mourinho and Vinicius were then involved in a heated confrontation, which later led to further comments and controversy. Mourinho, who once managed Real, said he has heard different versions of the incident from Vinicius and Prestianni, and wished to be an independent. The Portuguese, who also managed Manchester United, Chelsea and Inter Milan, however, became the target of criticism himself, due to a post-match interview suggesting Vinicius is regularly surrounded by controversy. "There is something wrong because it happens in every stadium," Mourinho said. "A stadium where Vinicius plays something happens, always." Mourinho was also asked if he felt Vinicius incited the crowd with his goal celebration. "Yes. I believe so. It should be the crazy moment of the game, an amazing goal," Mourinho continued. Unfortunately, he was not just happy to score that astonishing goal. "When you score a goal like that, you celebrate in a respectful way. I told Vinicius, when you score a goal like that, you just celebrate and walk back." When he was arguing about racism, I told him the biggest person in the history of this club, Eusebio, was black. This club, the last thing that it is racist. If in his mind there was something in relation to that, this is Benfica. They Vinicius and Prestianni told me different things. But I don't believe in one or another. I want to be independent. The game was played out to the end after the 10-minute delay, but the atmosphere grew hostile after play resumed. Vinicius and Kylian Mbappe were loudly booed by the home crowd whenever they touched the ball. Despite the rising tensions, the game was closed out without further interruptions. The teams will meet again for the second leg next Wednesday at the Bernabeu. With Prestianni clearly covering his mouth for whatever comment he made to Vinicius, the only areas that can be focused on are the immediate reactions. The footage of the game appears to show an outraged Mbappe, forward for Real Madrid in France, calling Prestianni a bloody racist to his face. Mbappe told reporters he heard Prestianni direct the same racist remark at Vinicius several times. It is an allegation also leveled by Real's French midfielder Aurélien Tchouameni. Denying the accusation, Prestianni said Vinicius misheard him. "I want to clarify that at no time did I direct racist insults to Vini Junior, who regrettably misunderstood what he thought he heard," Prestianni wrote on his Instagram account. "I was never racist with anyone and I regret the threats I received from Real Madrid players." Vinicius later posted a statement on social media voicing his frustration. "Racists are, above all, cowards. They need to cover their mouth with their shirt to show how weak they are. But they have the protection of others who, theoretically, have an obligation to punish them. Nothing that happened today is new in my life or my family's life," Vinicius wrote. Real Madrid defender and England international Trent Alexander-Arnold spoke to the media after the game to condemn the incident. "What has happened is a disgrace to football and overshadowed the performance, as well as an amazing goal," said Alexander-Arnold. "Vini has been subject to this a few times throughout his career. To ruin a night like this for our team is a disgrace. There is no place for it in football or society. It is disgusting. Mbappe said he had been prepared to leave the pitch immediately but was persuaded by Vinicius to continue playing, before the referee intervened, as per protocol. We cannot accept that there is a player in Europe's top football competition who behaves like this. This guy Prestianni doesn't deserve to play in the Champions League anymore, Mbappe told reporters. We have to set an example for all the children watching us at home. What happened today is the kind of thing we cannot accept because the